Hello and welcome. The Underdog Racing League live tonight from Pocono for the Boston Web Marketing 175, race number 11 of 13 on the season. As you see Brad Allison hard into the wall in practice. The driver's out here, just a few minutes remaining, and we are so glad to be back bringing the action to you here live on V-Speed. And we want to thank everyone who's tuned in here so far tonight. It's going to be a fun race. 70 laps, 175 miles, and tonight's race presented by Boston Web Marketing. Go check those guys out. You can see their picture on the right of your screen. Boston Web Marketing. Thank you so much for supporting this series and sponsoring tonight's event. As we will take a look at the drivers' point standings coming into tonight's race. Let's go take a look right now. First in points, entering Pocono tonight, James Loveland with 4 victories on the season. I believe he captured one last week, which gave him that 4th one. We weren't able to broadcast as we were out of town, but James with a decent lead now, 18 points up above Sean Huffstetler. Mike Aiello Jr. not too far behind, and then Nick Alves there in 4th position. A bit more of a margin back to him. He is tied with Trevor Earhart for 4th and 5th positions. See also Kevin Orlando Jr., Tony Baird, Ian Baker, Douglas Wolcott, and David Buell, the top 10 coming into tonight's race. There are a couple of drop races at the end of the season, so the worst races by each driver will be dropped out of the standings or out of the results, and points will be recalculated then. But right now, James Loveland with the points lead and those 4 victories, very strong this season, capturing 4 out of 10 races. And you can see other drivers there inside the top 20. Brett Sommers, the Boston Web Marketing sponsor, he'll be representing that brand here tonight, I believe. Let's go take a look at his car, if we can find him on the track. He's on the pit lane. See the Boston Web Marketing colors there. So big thanks to Brett for supporting this league and supporting the race tonight, as drivers are just about wrapping up the practice session. And welcome Blazer Pete, thank you for joining. Hope you enjoy the race. Just 14 seconds left in practice, and then we will head to qualifying, see how these guys do here at the Tricky Triangle. If you're not familiar with this racetrack, only 3 corners. There is no turn 4. Some will ask, where is turn 4? And it took a vacation. It is not here, as the driver spinning out at the tail end of practice here, and it is such a tricky track, that is for sure. Every corner is completely different as the drivers head to the track for qualifying now. We'll bring up the ticker so you can follow along with where each of them are. Mike Aiello Jr. rolling out on the raceway. And hello, Momesh. Thank you for tuning in. Doing great. How are you? Excited to be bringing these guys back to the broadcast tonight, and just a couple more races for their season. They will be wrapping up here. We just signed up to do the remainder of their season, and it's been great action so far and been a lot of fun. These guys are very easy to work with, and definitely been an enjoyable experience, and some great racers out here as well. As Mike Aiello Jr., he's going to head to the start-finish line and start his hot lap here. 174 miles an hour across the start-finish line, as he picks up speed down into turn number 1 up to 184. And he nearly loses control out of turn number 1, so might be tricky to hang on to the race cars tonight. Let's take a look at the weather. 72-degree air temp, 75-degree track temp, but I think nearly flat out through some of these turns with this high downforce package as he rubs the wall. This lap will not count. Also want to take a look. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the Waffle House number 25. I'm not sure if this is the Bobby Hamilton Jr., but it is. That is really, really cool. Of course, his dad, Bobby Hamilton Sr., was a Cup racer with Cup wins. He used to drive the Kodak car, the Square D car, and a lot of success in the lower series as well. I believe a Truck Series championship. And thank you for the subscription, Not Your Average Noah. Says Ya Yeet in the chat. Thank you for that. It's Justin Stunard, your fastest on track so far. Let's go to Justin, the number 33 Ernie's machine, as he gets real sideways out of turn 1, just like Mike Aiello Jr. did. And he'll get that car back up to speed here, but lots of momentum lost. And Jake Williams right now second, the number 29 National Guard machine. He comes through the tunnel turn now, looking to improve on a 53-176, which is about 2/10 off of Stunard. And he'll get very sideways, and that's actually out of turn number 3. Now towards the start-finish line. Does not improve as Brad Ringer to the top of the board, the number 76 machine. Stunard does not improve his time after the big slide out of turn 1. Here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr., currently 3rd on the board. And across the tunnel turn, down the short chute here towards turn number 3. Currently 4th as Parker Johnston takes the 3rd position away. The Ally 48 machine. That car kind of crab walking or something. It looks very awkward. But here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr. Can he top a 53.06, a 52.57, or 52.60 .603. Bobby Hamilton Jr. to the top of the board. James Loveland, the 4-time winner this season, he's looking to try and improve on a 52.90. He needs 3/10 to catch up to Bobby Hamilton Jr. And a little slide out of turn 1. He might have lost the momentum down the backstretch, 180 miles an hour into the tunnel turn, a little sideways on entry. Pretty good run on the exit of the corner here. A few other drivers on track: Sean Huffstutler, Tony Baird, Ian Baker, Marshall Wilson also on the track. Here comes Loveland out of turn number 3. Down the front straightaway to the start-finish line. Loveland, 52.69, nope, 65. Good for 2nd. And Tony Baird moves his way up into the 6th position with his lap time. Sean Huffstutler comes in 2nd in points. Also has a win on the season. Putting down his first hot lap here. Trevor Earhart just rolling out on the track right now, as well as Sean across the start-finish line, 52.78 or 52.80 now as it updates. And he'll try and improve on that, see if he can move forward on his 2nd lap here. Yeah, definitely a big race for some of these guys as the season winding down. Just a few races left, including this one. And such a difficult racetrack. I'm sure a lot of drivers would want to earn some points here, kind of set themselves apart. As Ian Baker, big wiggle across the tunnel turn and down towards turn number 3. Here he comes out of turn 3. Big slide again. Huffstutler goes to 3rd on the board and stays 3rd with that lap. Ian Baker does not improve, about a 1/10.5 slower. Let's take a look at Trevor Earhart. One of the last drivers to take a time. He's on his first flying lap right now. Down the back straightaway towards The tunnel turn, here he goes. 180 miles an hour on entry. And that American flag machine, also happy Veterans Day. I want to thank all our veterans out there. That seems to be the theme here tonight with the paint schemes. Thank you so much for your service. And we appreciate everything that you do to award us our freedoms that we hold so dearly here in the United States. Thank you all so much. And if there are any tuning in, we really appreciate your sacrifice on our behalf. As Earhart goes to 11th on the board. Only a couple more cars qualifying other than Earhart, Jeff Napier and Brad Allison. So Earhart 11th right now on the board. Can he improve? Needs about 6/10 to get towards the pole time. I'm not sure he's going to have that here in lap number 2, but definitely looks to be pretty strong through the tunnel turn. Here he comes out of turn number 3. Can he improve his qualifying time? Goes from a 53.2 to a 52.72. That is good for third. So Earhart takes third position away here on his second lap. And just a couple more to put in time. So we're going to head to a quick commercial break. And we will be right back with your starting grid.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
And the drivers just about to head to the starting grid. Let's see where your favorite drivers are lining up here tonight. As we go to the grid. Tonight for the Boston Web Marketing 175 from Pocono, Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's going to score the pole here tonight, a 52.603. Great lap time from driver the number 25. Waffle House Ford Mustang. He will take away the top spot. Alongside him, point leader James Loveland. 4 victories on the season. He runs a 52.65, and he will take second place away here on the starting grid. Rolling off third tonight, it's Trevor Earhart, the number 97 car. Alongside him, Sean Hustutler comes into this race second in points. He'll be rolling off in the 4th position. Brad Ringer going to be starting 5th here tonight. Ian Baker starting in the 6th position. Rolling off 7th, it's Justin Stunard, a winner from this season, and Parker Johnston going to be rolling off in the 8th position. Rolling off 9th, it's Tony Baird, and rounding out the top 10, it'll be Jake Williams, the number 29 car. 11th place on the grid tonight, Kevin Orlando Jr. rolling off 12th. To his outside is CAEDMON Moore, the number 84 car. Christopher Height's going to be starting in the 13th position, number 21 here tonight. Nick Alves going to be starting in 14th in that number 81 car. Rolling off 15th, Dylan Walterman, the 02. 16th is Dennis Steele in the number 28. David Buell going to be rolling off 17th here tonight in the 52, and Matt Janes going to be rolling off in 18th. Mike Aiello Jr., who also comes in pretty high up in the points, he'll be rolling off 19th, and Marshall Wilson going to be starting in the 20th position. Brett Sommers in the Boston Web Marketing Machine, he'll be starting in the 21st position tonight, and Scott Kerberg going to be rolling off in 22nd. Jeff Napier going to be rolling off 23rd. Brad Allison going to be starting in the 24th position. And that's going to do it for our field here tonight. 24 drivers. Thank you, WLG Matt, for the subscription, Prime subscription. Thank you so much for using that right here on V-Speed. And hope you enjoy the broadcast as we are about to get rolling here. And on the pole, leading us to the green flag, it will be Bobby Hamilton Jr. and James Loveland on his outside. So going to be a lot of fun. We'll see how these guys can do tonight. Such a tricky racetrack with the 3 different corners, and obviously very slick out there today, even though the track temp not very high. Should be a lot of fun. And again, 70 laps here tonight, 175 miles. This is race 11 of 13 from the Pocono Raceway, sponsored by Boston Web Marketing. It should be a good race as they make their way through the tunnel turn on the pace lap. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and the 56 of James Loveland about ready to get us underway here. Pocono Raceway for the Underdog Racing League. Cheer on your favorite driver in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for so we can follow along with them throughout the event. And we'll give you a shout out on the broadcast as well, as pace car making its way through turn number 3. About to make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And usually the green flag flies almost instantly as the field works their way towards the start-finish line. Green flag in the air, and we are underway for the Boston Web Marketing 175. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. gets a good start. He'll jump out in front over James Loveland, Trevor Earhart, who ride in second and third. They're side by side, headed down into turn number 1. The 97 is going to take advantage, though, of the shorter route. He'll take over second position, but big wiggle there, nearly losing control. Here comes the 56 back to the outside as cars scatter all throughout the back of the pack, trying to find their way through. Loveland back to second as Earhart had that big mistake on lap number 1 here, and he's going to have to be careful that those tires aren't superheated just from that. Is out in front, that number 25 Waffle House Machine has about a 3 or 4 car length gap over the 56. Gets a good run out of turn 3, and he'll stretch that lead now up to about a half second as we bring up our ticker. You can follow along with your favorite driver. The gap 0.43 after lap number 1. Bobby Hamilton Jr. out in the lead. Loveland trying to reel him back in. Here comes Brad Ringer to third. And then Trevor Earhart under pressure from Justin Stunard as they all go single file. Nobody side by side. So you get all the way back to Parker Johnston and CAEDMON Moore. The 48 and the 84 side by side headed into the tunnel turn. Johnston not going to let him go. The 84 trying to make the pass, can't clear him. And now the 48 backs out of it. CAEDMON takes the spot away. That's 13th position. And here comes Jake Williams looking to the inside. The number 29 machine. Brett Sommers right there as well. He's got Nick Alves to his inside as the 81 can't complete the pass. Here comes Sommers with the big run down the front stretch. And at the front, the 56 of Loveland has reeled in the 25. And safe I'd love to do a race. Hopefully in a few weeks here, we might be able to do one of the IROC races. I will be running a series on Mondays. The Grit, I don't remember what the full series name is, but it's the Grit Marketing series where you run all kinds of different cars at different tracks, and you get to only use each car once throughout the course of the series, and you can pick any car for any of the tracks. So that'll be pretty fun. I should be streaming those on Monday nights. It starts next week, so should be a lot of fun for that one, but hopefully get to race with you guys at some point. And we'll see if I can get in on that IROC series action. Big wiggle there from the 25 and the 56 as they lose a little bit of time. Here comes Brad Ringer starting to reel these guys in. Earhart has recovered well. He's in that 4th position, and he's gotten around Justin Stunard. They were battling for that 4th and 5th position for a while, but seems the 97 has gotten away. But Stunard starting to reel those 4 in again. So he gets a great run out of the tunnel turn. Now into turn 3, the gap just 1 car length between Stunard and Earhart. And the 97 loose again. That keeps that gap right down at about 2 car lengths. And clean air so important. You can see these cars single file. Really no way to run around here side by side. But a big draft down the front straightaway. Loveland closes the gap down in the 25. A little wiggle here in turn 1. That's going to keep the gap at 1 car length. Here comes the 56 with a big charge down the short chute towards the tunnel turn. He'll go to the inside, and Loveland's going to take away the top spot. Hamilton Jr. will pull over and just let him have it. Waffle House Machine goes back to 2nd now, as the Cobra Jet Ford Mustang now out to the lead. Here comes Brad Ringer trying to reel in those top 2, but he's got a big slide out of turn number 3. Big slide for Stunard as well. These guys really wheeling it here tonight. And here comes Ian Baker, the 88. He'll take over the 5th position as Bobby Hamilton Jr. looking back to the inside. Loveland led the lap, but the 25 now has the advantage into turn 1, and he'll take that spot away from James Loveland, swapping the lead here a couple times over the course of about a lap, as we've got about 7 cars under a blanket all the way back to Sean Hustutler, that 94 machine, and then Tony Baird all by his lonesome in the 8th position. And Kevin Orlando Jr. all on his own back here in 9th as well. 10th position is under fire. Christopher Heights going to get passed up by Mike Aiello Jr. And the 84 of CAEDMON Moore is on his way to the inside. He gets sideways. And just a little ways back from that, Nick Alves looking to the inside of the 02 of Dylan Walterman. And then we've got a few stragglers a bit farther back. Looks like Scott Kerberg, David Buell back here 23rd, 24th, about 15 and 17 seconds back respectively. But man, look at this lead pack, all nose to tail. The top 7 cars here, 7 laps in. And his big slide there for the 70 or for the 25, the 97 of Earhart. He continues to struggle to put the power down, but hanging on to that 4th position. Definitely impressive run with the way that car appears to be handling as he comes out of turn number 3. Not a great run there. Here's Ian Baker all over the back bumper, and he'll give him a push down the front stretch. As the top 7 have broken away, and Tony Baird all by himself. No drafting help. He's just out of reach of that lead pack, and definitely going to be a disadvantage to him as those top 7 running about 0.3 of a second a lap faster. And the cars behind him also running faster than he is. So he will fall into their clutches at some point as we have a challenge here for that 5th position. Ian Baker way up the racetrack. Here comes Hustutler. He'll take 6th away. And Stunard back into the 5th position here. That 33 car trying to recover. And all of that may have helped Tony Baird, who reels these guys in by quite a bit, now within drafting range. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. continuing to show the way here. 9 laps showing on the board now as he goes a little wide out of turn 1. And Loveland able to keep that gap right around 2 or 3 car lengths. He's got some help from Brad Ringer to give him a push down the backstretch. And you'll see that margin close by just a little bit headed into the tunnel turn. The 25 has been so good through here. And the 56 just not quite enough to pass him up, as I think Justin Stunard hit the wall. And that's going to allow Huffstutler to take 5th away. Here comes Ian Baker to the inside. He'll take away 6th now in the 33. Big damage on the right front. Let's go back and see what happened to him here. Just gets a little bit tight, slams the outside wall, and then good job avoiding him by the 94 and the 88. But that will cost him dearly as he's now fallen to the clutches of Tony Baird. And going to continue to struggle with the handling and the straight line speed on that race car. So every bit of aerodynamic efficiency helps on a track this kind of size. 2.5 miles here in the Poconos. Super long straightaways, so the acceleration in these 550 horsepower cars so incredibly important. As Bobby Hamilton Jr. showing the way, the Waffle House machine still out in front. James Loveland doing his best to keep up, but not doing enough right now. Still about 4/10 behind, but he has been very good in turn number 3 and been able to reel in the 25 a bit down the front stretches. Oh, we've got a car headed to pit lane. Jake Williams, he's got heavy right side damage. I believe they do have one fast repair here tonight as Jake brings it in. David Buell appears to have started from the pit lane, and that is why he is so far back right now in the 23rd position, and no cautions to help catch him up. Kind of pacing himself back here, about 21 seconds off the lead. Right now it is Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's led 9 laps, but he catches the wall out of turn 3. Here comes Loveland. Big hit for the 25, and he's going to pull out of the way. Loveland will take the spot, and big damage for the 25, who's now led 10 laps, but going to be at a disadvantage. Might even have suspension damage from such a hit. The leader coming out of turn 3, big wiggle, and then kind of side slapped the wall. The car came off the ground, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. falls to 2nd. Here comes Brad Ringer, going to start putting pressure on the 25, knowing that that car has damage. You'll see how much it does affect Bobby here. He actually starts reeling in your leader, now down to 2 car lengths, headed into turn number 3, the site of the mistake last lap. He's going to maintain a margin of about 2 or 3 car lengths, but down the front stretch, how much time does he lose here? As they come across the line, the gap right around 0.2 of a second, and that's growing just slightly. Actually maintains right around 0.2, so the draft working wonders for Bobby. As the top 3 have broken away, Trevor Earhart back in 4th, doing his best to keep those 3 in his sight, and he's pulled away about 1.2 seconds ahead of Ian Baker. Sean Huffstutler as well. Then Tony Baird, Mike Aiello Jr., Kevin Orlando Jr. in 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then rounding out the top 10, CAEDMON Moore, the 84 machine. He goes wide through the tunnel turn, nearly catches the wall, and here comes Christopher Heights to the back bumper to put pressure on and try and make his way in the top 10. But exciting racing so far is at the front. Ringer has the top spot, and Bobby Hamilton Jr., did he catch the wall again? I don't know, but he has lost a second now to your leader, and that damage probably playing a role in that. As he is really starting to slip and slide. Probably has a little bit less rear downforce. Take a look at the Boston Web marketing machine. Brett Sommers, thank you, JJM10. for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. If you are enjoying the broadcast, please consider following on all of these different social media outlets. It really does a lot. Help us bring you great racing content each and every week. You can stay up to date with what we're doing here on the channel and with some news in the racing world. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as over on YouTube at VSpeed and now VSpeed Garage for real-world automotive action. As the number 7 of Sommers way up the racetrack in turn 1. Not sure what happened there. As you see the cars up in front of him. Maybe a little action there for Heights, who's fallen off the back bumper. Actually, Heights was fighting for 10th position. He's fallen all the way back to 13th now, behind Dylan Walterman by about 0.3 of a second. As James Loveland once again putting on a show here for us across the start-finish line. He's increased the lead up to 1.1 seconds, and that is growing lap by lap. Last time by about 0.4 faster than Brad Ringer, who rides in second position. The 56, 4 wins this season so far in the first 10 races, and looking to add to that total and add to his points lead is Brad Ringer, trying to hold off Bobby Hamilton Jr., who's reeled him back in, and Trevor Earhart also on the back bumper. And slowly but surely, Huffstutler and Ian Baker are reeling those two in, but Huffstutler nearly catches the wall. Some great racing action so far in this event. We are going to go quickly to side-by-side green flag coverage, and we will be right back.
Welcome to VSpeed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing and specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length of difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
Jim, these two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
We've had a few changes for position up here in the top 5, really in this lead pack, as Bobby Hamilton Jr. went back to second, Brad Ringer now back to third, and Sean Huffstutler, the 94 car, he was able to get past Trevor Earhart and Ian Baker now all over the back bumper of the 97, as we've got these 5 cars nose to tail about 2 seconds behind your race leader, James Loveland, who continues to stretch out his lead. Doing a fantastic job of maintaining the tires and maintaining that gap. Nearly 20 laps into this race, he continues to show the fastest lap times, lap after lap, out here in clean air, no worries in the world, and still a little while until we start making pit stops here. I did see we had David Buell. Oh, no. Justin Stunard did bring it down the pit lane. Same lap as Jake Williams, and Right now, Jake 2 laps off the pace, and Justin, the last driver on the lead lap, currently 40.3 seconds back, but running a bit faster than your race leader. Here comes CAEDMON Moore onto the pit lane, just as we're talking about pit stops. So CAEDMON going to bring it in from about the 10th position, and he overshoots his box by quite a bit. Able to get it stopped, though, in the right spot eventually. And he'll have service completed on that vehicle as Loveland maybe a little loose out of turn 2. Down here through turn 3, looking nice and steady. Does he bring it down the pit lane anytime soon? As Bobby Hamilton Jr. has reeled him back in about a second now, so some speed back underneath the 25 cars. He is closing the gap. And the 94 of Huffstutler now working on third place. Brad Ringer, he goes to the outside here in turn 1. Can the 94 complete the pass the long way around? He goes way up the racetrack. The 76 down low, not able to get the momentum. And here comes the 88. He'll go to the high side. The 94 goes straight on past. I think the 76 of Ringer, he'll drop back to 6th position and let all of those guys right on past. But look at the 25 car. He is on a mission. He was 2 seconds back, now closes that gap down to about a half second as Loveland struggling here late in this run. And the 25 has found something. We want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight and watching this as the battle for the lead is on. Here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr. to the back bumper of James Loveland. Loveland was so far out in front that he burned his stuff up. He did catch the wall. You can see the right side of that race car heavily damaged, and that was what we had seen. It must have been coming out of turn 2 a few laps back. That car, heavy contact. And here goes Bobby Hamilton, who also hit the wall a bit earlier. He'll take the lead back away. So going to be some repairs completed on these race cars as they make their pit stops eventually here. Only 4 drivers, or rather 3 drivers, have brought it down the pit lane thus far. And keeping our eye on whether any more are bringing it down anytime soon. But I'm thinking they're going to probably try and do a one-stopper based on the way this race is going. Huffstutler now looks to take 2nd position away, and he'll drive right around the 56 of Loveland, who can't fight back, in the injured number 56, or wounded, I should say. The 88 of Ian Baker now looking to take over the 3rd position, but what appears to be an uncharacteristic mistake from your points leader while leading the race. But we've also seen another driver in the 25 make a very similar mistake while leading, so it is not going to be a gimme here tonight. These cars quite a handful. As Sean Huffstutler in the 2nd position, he started 4th. He's trying to chase down the 25 machine, and he is closed in from quite a ways back. Ian Baker started 6th. He's in the 3rd position. Loveland started on that front row. He's led 12 laps and now gets passed up by Earhart. Trevor Earhart with the issue on the 1st lap, and he is finally starting to climb out of that hole. Brad Ringer back here. He's been up here towards the top 5 the whole race. Mike Aiello Jr. started towards the back, and he has reeled in this lead pack. So watch out for that 74 car. Must have made it a challenge on himself. He does have some right front damage from catching the wall, but still running very quick lap times. Actually one of the fastest on the racetrack. Kevin Orlando Jr. also very quick back here in the 8th position. Dylan Walterman up 6 spots. He's maintained a pretty good pace here throughout this run. And Nick Alves in the 10th position after starting 14th. Tony Baird was up here in the mix for a bit, and he is slowly faded outside the top 10, but still a solid run in the 11th position. And Brett Sommers here in 13th, Christopher Heights in 12th, right around where he started. But Sommers up 8 spots, so having a great run here, that number 7 machine. One of his better runs that we've seen in all the time that we've broadcast, both the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series and here the Underdog Racing League. This is a good performance for him. Is at the front, though, Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's leading the way, and he's got company. Here comes the 94 of Huffstutler. Going to look to the inside into the tunnel turn. No room yet. The 25 still out in front by a couple car lengths, but a little wiggle there. That might close the margin as Ian Baker also reeling them in. We've seen that 88 car good on the long runs, as he is now reeled in the top 2. And really the 94 and the 88 have kind of climbed through the top 5 here over this run. And perhaps saving their stuff, as here goes the 94, looks to the inside. 25 is going to give him the lane, and I think he's just going to let him go. Here goes Huffstutler to the lead, and Ian Baker going to challenge for second now out of turn number 1. And a very solid run for many drivers here, as pit stops probably approaching soon. Parker Johnston brought it down, it says 2 laps ago, but I don't see any service completed, as it looks like he just rolled through the pit lane. I think he might have missed his box, and now 46 seconds behind. That could be a problem for Parker, as it doesn't look like we're going to have any cautions in this race, at least not anytime very soon. As Sean Huffstutler, your new leader here tonight. Let's do a quick recap. 28 laps in. Huffstutler, your leader. You've had 5 lead changes, no cautions yet in this event, as we are 40% of the way through it. Huffstutler leads his first lap last time by. And here's the battle for second once again. We thought Ian Baker had cleared the 25, but doesn't appear so until now. I think he might be able to get him here. The tunnel turn, the 25 powers back around the outside. 88 not going to challenge him too hard, and here comes the 97 of Earhart. Going to reel in that battle as well. 97 will look downstairs, not going to be able to make that work. And the 88, so good on this end of the racetrack. He reels in the 25 from car lengths back, and now just 1 car length down the front stretch. Can he make it work? Headed down into turn 1. That 25 is wounded. It's 88 peaked low. Now he'll peak out late here. The 25 not going to give him the room like he did the 94. And he'll block him there through turn 1 and now onto the short straightaway. Battle behind them. James Loveland under pressure from Brad Ringer. And the 56 with that right side damage. He's also under pressure from Mike Aiello Jr. As the 76 just going to let the 74 right on past. And that's going to leave Loveland in the hands of the 74 of Aiello, who has consistently been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, but started right towards the back of the field. Now Ian Baker dropping off from the 25. He falls all the way back, about a half second behind, and now under pressure from Earhart. And single file right now among the top 10 or so. And pretty well spaced out. 10th place Dylan Walterman starting to put pressure on Nick Alves. And they are about 8 seconds back of your leader. And it doesn't really look like any close battles other than up towards the front. Brett Sommers gets passed up by Brad Allison, the 03, taking over the 13th position. And Sommers back to 14th. It's through the tunnel turn. The 03 gets a little wide there. Here comes the 7 back to the inside. He'll try and make the pass. Down here in turn number 3, not able to do it just yet. Gets on the grass a little bit, does the 7. And behind them, Marshall Wilson. He's about 2 seconds back in the 15th position. Nice looking paint scheme. The Napa Auto Parts Camaro there. Jeff Napier back in 16th right now. He's another 2 seconds behind. Matt Janes about 4 seconds behind Napier, and he's going to be under pressure from Dennis Steele here shortly. It's Dennis up to the 18th position. Justin Stunard, the next car in line, he did make a pit stop, and he has closed the margin by about 10 or 12 seconds since he exited the pit lane. So making up some time here in that number 33 car. Doing a good job trying to maintain what he can, as the 94 of Huffstutler still hasn't broken away very far from Bobby Hamilton Jr. and approaching halfway. When do drivers start making that pit stop? 94 way up the racetrack there. That doesn't seem to have worked, as here comes the 25. He'll close the gap down to 1 car length down the backstretch. And loses just a little bit of ground headed towards the tunnel turn, about another half car length. But into the tunnel turn, that 25 car keeps coming and going, and I am not sure why. But it appears momentum back in the 25's favors. The 94 actually now pulling away just a short bit here through turn number 3. Can the 25 close that gap back up with a little draft down the front stretch, as the margin goes back up to around half second here? So 25 made his move and reeled him in just a little bit, but not able to get there. Behind them, Earhart around Ian Baker. That's 3rd and 4th, as the 97 big dive into turn 1. The 88 goes low. The 20 machine, that's actually David Buell, the 52 car on our scoring pylon. He'll get passed up by Mike Aiello Jr. You'll see the difference on fresh tires here as they head into the tunnel turn. And Mike Aiello Jr. up to 5th position, started in 19th here tonight. And he is definitely your biggest mover, 14 spots. And he is on a mission. He's closed in on the leaders by another half second since we looked at him last. And I would expect that 74 car to get up there and challenge for the lead before this is said and done. Huffstutler still fighting off Bobby Hamilton Jr. That margin back down to 2 car lengths, as they've got a lap car out there in front of them. Let's go on board with Bobby Hamilton Jr. here. He's led 14 laps as he makes his way out of turn 1 a little sideways. Down the long straightaway here towards the tunnel turn. Actually using the apron a little bit there, and that car sideways the whole time through. See, when he gets back to the throttle, that car just pivots and sideways all the way to the exit, just barely even putting any steering wheel input into it. But not able to keep up with Huffstutler until they get to the front straightaway. He really pulls him back with the draft there, as now Aiello Jr. goes to 4th, and he'll work his way around Ian Baker. Even with the right side damage, Aiello Jr. so fast here tonight and flying through this field. At halfway, he's already marched 15 positions. He only needs a few more, and the gap just 2.6 seconds up to the leader. And he'll want to get that damage repaired to really get the most out of that race car, as Ian Baker throws the block. They're 3 wide, and I think Ian might be bringing it to pit lane here. We'll see if any of the leaders elect to do so as well. Here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr., Mike Aiello Jr. And Huffstutler, he is not going to bring it down. So Bobby Hamilton Jr., the first car to bring it down. And he's got that 74 machine right there behind him. Jeff Napier brought it down in that 40 car just a few laps ago. David Buell, we already mentioned. Matt Janes did bring it down just a lap ago. And Brad Allison also on the pit lane, going to pull it into his box. Good job there. Brett Sommer is going to bring it in the 7 machine, who's had a good race, but he overshoots the box just a little bit. He'll have to back it up, get it aligned correctly, and gets it in the stall there. Dennis Steele also going to bring it in. And see who else. I think that is it, as here comes some of the leaders. Huffstutler trying to get that car woed down, and he will do so. Trevor Earhart, Kevin Orlando Jr., Brad Ringer, Ian Baker, James Loveland on the pit road. He's going to be hoping to get some of that damage fixed so he could be a bit more competitive. Nick Alves also on the pit lane. Dylan Walterman and Tony Baird going to stay on the racetrack. Don't think he will be scored as your leader just yet, but that 13 machine will remain out there. We'll see if he can get a lap led here before he cycles in. Christopher Heights also on the pit lane. Justin Stunard, after pitting 24 laps ago, he's pulling a little bit of strategy here. He'll take over third position, and he'll have the lead when this is all said and done. But he will have much older tires and well off the pace of these guys on the fresh Goodyear Eagles. As Huffstutler wins the battle for now, but here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr., full head of steam. He'll go to the inside, down into the tunnel turn. He'll take that spot away. So move the 25 to fourth position. As the 94 still getting up to speed here. He's finally gotten up to speed. 25 with the worked in tires. We'll see how that works with an extra lap on the cycle. As Tony Baird does lead a lap. Christopher Heights not far behind him. Really slow in that 21. I'm not sure if he could be running out of fuel or something, but he's a good 10, 12 miles an hour off the pace. Through the tunnel turn here. He's still trying to keep that car up to speed. As Stunard, you can see where he is. He's only got a few seconds over Bobby Hamilton Jr., who's running about 3 seconds a lap faster. So Justin Stunard looks like he won't even inherit the lead if the leaders don't pit right now. And here comes Tony Baird. And Christopher Heights going to remain on the racetrack. That Red Bull Chevy Camaro. You can see Stunard there. It looks like Justin's going to bring it in this time. And he was hoping to catch a yellow probably. He gets that car woed up onto pit lane, and it's going to cost him all of that track position, but he will be able to go to the end with slightly fresher tires. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in here. As Christopher Heights out in front by about 14 seconds over Bobby Hamilton Jr., but the 21 car still has to pit. Bobby Hamilton Jr. has been the class of the field here, along with a couple other cars. One that I am really interested in seeing is Mike Aiello Jr. And that 74 car, he did not get damage repaired, so he's going to try and ride it out as it is. Maybe hope that he can use it for a later event. As Heights brings it down this time, that'll give the lead back over to Bobby Hamilton Jr. and past the halfway point. We'll go through the field here. Bobby Hamilton Jr., your leader. He has led 14 laps out of the 39 that have been completed. Huffstutler behind him. He has led 10 laps. Rides in second. Oh, big wiggle from Earhart back there. As Mike Aiello Jr. up 16 spots and one of the fastest on the track. Will be very interesting to see him try and reel in these guys. Kevin Orlando Jr. up to fourth now. He's got a big wiggle going out of the tunnel turn, up 7 spots. Trevor Earhart back a couple into the 5th position. Brad Ringer right around where he started, running in 6th. Ian Baker running in 7th. James Loveland, your outside pole sitter, he's led 12 laps. Got the damage repaired on that race car, it appears. and he is currently in the 8th position, trying to track the top 5 back down. Nick Alves in the 9th position as the sun looks to be setting here. And Nick Alves in that 9th position, up 5 spots. Dylan Walterman in the 10th position, trying to make his way around Parker Johnson. He gets a big slide through turn 1, hanging on to that 10th position, up 5 spots. CAEDMON Moore up to 11th from the 12th starting position, but he's going to get passed up now by the 14 machine on fresh tires. And CAEDMON pitted 21 laps ago, so he's going to start fading here. Is Brad Allison up 12 spots from where he started. Tony Baird back 4 positions. He did lead a lap there through the pit cycle, but back to 13th position. Jeff Napier up 9 spots to 14th. Marshall Wilson up 5 spots to the 15th position. Brett Sommers up 5 spots to 16th. Christopher Heights back 4 positions after leading 2 laps. He rides in the 17th position. Matt Janes right where he started in 18th. Dennis Steele back 3 positions to 19th. Justin Sunard, last car on the lead lap, currently about 43 seconds behind your leader, as CAEDMON Moore brings it down the pit lane right now. Parker Johnston, he is first car 1 lap down in 21st. And we have a yellow flag on the racetrack. Trying to figure out who it is. Looks like maybe the 14 machine. Who is that? Scott Kerberg. He spun it out of turn number 1. Let's go take a look at what happened to Scott to bring out the first yellow flag. Taking a look here at Scott Kerberg as he makes his way through turn number 1. Just loses control. Up into the outside wall. That's not a great camera angle. Let's go back to this. You can see that car he loses the back end. Can't quite get it pointed the right direction. Catches the outside and gets that car hooked on the wall, and it loops kind of backwards on him here. And that'll bring out the first yellow flag. He will go at least 1 lap down from that. If he was already, I think he just brought it down the pit lane actually a few laps prior. So not sure if he took 2 tires or what happened exactly, but not good there for the 14 as Bobby Hamilton Jr., your leader, going to lead the field to the pit lane most likely. Is only 6 laps on most of these sets of tires. They're going to bring it down the pit lane this time. Bobby Hamilton Jr. And 84 of CAEDMON Moore, who I believe just brought it down. He did. He's going to get his lap back. And it looks like maybe a few staying on the racetrack. Dylan Walterman. See if anybody tries 2 tires. I don't think we'll see that. Due to the nature of the way these cars are handling here tonight, I would think that everyone would take 4, and here comes somebody. That is Mike Aiello Jr. He takes 2 tires. He'll win the battle off. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. looks to have come out second. Sean Huffstetler right there alongside him, as well as Trevor Earhart, Kevin Orlando Jr., and others. But this will be interesting. We're going to have cars, 2 cars not having pitted, but only 7 laps on the tires of Dylan Walterman, only 5 laps on the tires of Justin Sunard, who kind of catches a break there. With the yellow falling at the time it did. But we are going to head to another quick commercial break. And don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the green flag.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to drops.com. The first one's on us.
And back at the racetrack now, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Drops. You can check them out at the link in the chat we just posted, and you can also check it out in the About the channel here on Twitch. The field works their way out of turn number 3 under caution number 1. We are about to get underway. Dylan Walterman gets going, green flag back in the air, and he pulls away from Justin Stunard. Behind him, Mike Aiello Jr. and Bobby Hamilton Jr. side by side for that third position. As here comes Aiello down to the inside. Can he make it work? Those guys on mixed strategies. The top 2 stayed out, and Aiello on 2 tires. We'll see how that works for him. Here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr. with a big run. So we bring up the ticker once again. That challenge for third position as the top 2 have broken away. Walterman on 9-lap old tires right now, and Stunard looking to the inside. He's got 7-lap old tires as they battle for the lead side by side down the short chute here to turn number 3. Stunard to the inside. Gonna try and take this lead away. Here comes Bobby Hamilton Jr., dominant car this race. The 33 can't clear him. The 25 gonna make it 3 wide down the front stretch, and most likely going to take it away. Those fresh Goodyear Eagles playing a huge role, and Mike Aiello Jr., the 2-tire call, not working out as he has dropped outside the top 5, and now Hamilton Jr. to the lead here in turn number 1, but he gets a bit wide, slows him up just a little bit. The 02 still right behind him, might be able to make another move towards the top spot here. So he gives him a push down into the tunnel turn, and the 25 machine going to hang on to it. And Stunard, he's going to have to try and attack a second time as the 02 slow out of the tunnel turn. Here comes the 33. Going to make that move. And Sean Huffstetler behind them, hoping that these two figure it out quickly as the 02 a bit of a wiggle. And they're still side by side down the front stretch. Stunard cannot make it work. And here comes the 94. He's going to try and take third position away. And Mike Aiello Jr., that yellow and blue car right there, 74, back to 8th position. And that strategy call did not work out for him. He's going to have to get damage repaired from earlier in the race anyways. And I'm not sure why he elected to take 2, but definitely has the speed on 4 tires if he can figure out how to get back up there. We've got a battle for second. Walterman up high. And Huffstetler looking to the inside, not able to make it work. He'll try once again down here in turn number 3. The 94 really dives it down deep into the corner. As they both get a little bit squirrely out of turn 3. Here comes the 97 and the 33 of Stunard back to the outside. It's Bobby Hamilton Jr. loving what he's seen. Oh, and we got a crash on the front straightaway. The 33 gets spun down to the inside wall. Caution flies. And we are back under the yellow flag. Big hit for Justin Stunard, who I believe already used the fast repair. And that is going to be a big hit to the number 33's chances to finish well in this race. Let's go back to how that all occurred. Taking a look here with Justin Stunard, the 97 of Trevor Earhart as the 33 going by. 97 just kind of drifts up and they come together, and 33 pancakes the inside wall. Big hit there. Let's see if we can get a view from the car that was behind them. On board with Ian Baker. Yeah, and they kind of just came together. It looked like possibly the 97 came up the racetrack just a bit more. But man, what a bummer for Justin Stunard, who tried the strategy and it finally caught a break, but that car is going to have some heavy damage. Might even be done for the night after such a hard hit, basically full speed at that point on the straightaway. So that brings out caution number 2. 10 lead changes in tonight's event. And right now at the front, it is Bobby Hamilton Jr. We'll see if these guys bring it back down after just a few laps of green flag racing. We want to let you know you can get your own V-Speed merch over at vspeedsim.com, and we're doing a merch giveaway. If you follow us here on Twitter or here on Twitch and over on our Twitter, trying to get to these follower goals of 200 and 500, and we are getting there slowly but surely. I appreciate everyone who's joined us on our journey to those goals. But if you want to be eligible for the giveaway, which will be any t-shirt or hat that you choose from our website, just follow us right here on Twitch and follow us on Twitter to be eligible. When we get to those follower goals, we'll be announcing when we do the giveaway. So go check us out over on Twitter to be eligible. So right now, Bobby Hamilton Jr. showing the way. Dylan Walterman does not like to bring it down the pit lane here. We saw a few drivers fake it. And taking a look now, looks like Parker Johnson, Justin Stunard, both on the pit lane. Justin going to go a lap down here after that hard hit to the left side as they continue to work on that race car. He will drop all the way to last place for the moment. And Parker Johnson, the only lead lap car to bring it down here. It looks like David Buell going to get the lucky dog after starting from the pits early in this race. Things finally cycle out his way, and he will get his lap back. So congrats to the 52 there. This field works down the long back straightaway. Really long caution laps here. So we are going to cut away to commercial break, and we'll be back with the green flag. And back at the racetrack again. We're about to get green once again and under 20 laps to go. Bobby Hamilton Jr., your leader. Dylan Walterman on his outside on the front row here for this restart. Sean Huffstetler in third and Trevor Earhart, the 97, in that fourth position. And Walterman on much older tires here. We'll see what kind of a restart he can get. The 25 gets going. Green flag back in the air. Not a great jump by the 02. That's going to open the door for Huffstetler to look down to the inside here. They're making their way down towards turn number 1. The battle's going to be on for second between Walterman and Huffstetler as the 02 way up the racetrack. Here goes Huffstetler. He'll take that spot away. And does he clear the 02? He does not. The 02 gets a run back on the outside. What a good job by Walterman, the older tires, to continue to fight off for that second position. He has not been able to be passed, really, but he goes way up the racetrack this time. That could cost him. No, it doesn't. Huffstetler can't get the run. Here comes Earhart, going to look to the inside. And not going to happen for any of these guys. Here comes the 88 of Ian Baker. Big run. Oh, and there's a tap off the wall for Brad Ringer. And the 76 gets passed up by Loveland, who now moves up to the 6th position, starting to recover. As there's the 97 of Earhart brushes the wall. But watch out for that 88. He's been very good here, especially on the long runs. Both he and the 94 really climbed through the pack. And now the 88 under pressure from James Loveland. And the 94 looks like he's got second place in hand now. He's got to clear the 02 if he's got any chance going up there to race for the win. Now he does. So the 94 of Huffstetler to second, but he's lost so much ground now. 2 seconds behind Bobby Hamilton Jr. And Dylan Walterman goes way up the racetrack. He'll get passed up by a few more cars. That old tire's finally starting to come into play. And Loveland will move to 5th. Walterman back to 6th. As that 97 bounces off the wall once again, he's trying to find some way around these cars in front of him. And keeps going a little bit too far to the right. And that car a little sideways. He's trying to hang on to it. As now everybody pretty much single file other than the 51 of Matt Janes making a pass on Mike Aiello Jr., who has not gotten that car repaired. And that 74 car, he took the 2 tires. He still hasn't brought it back down. And I'm a bit surprised by that, seeing as how fast he was in the first half of this race. He was the fastest car on the track. Kevin Orlando Jr. looks to the inside now of Tony Baird. It's just outside the top 10 as Aiello rides in that 10th position. And all this going on right behind him. But Ian Baker battling for second now. Here comes Earhart, and they're going to be 3 wide headed into turn number 1. This is dangerous. The 97 backs out of it. Almost sends the 56 up into the 94. And Ian Baker going to settle out into second. Here goes Huffstetler behind him. And the more these guys fight like this, the less chance they have to win. And Huffstetler going to look back to the inside as Bobby Hamilton Jr. continues to drive away. He's not even in the picture. All the way back here is this battle as Ian Baker has taken second. And now Trevor Earhart taking away third from Huffstetler. That 94 car dropping. It's the 97 a bit wide out of turn number 3. He gets it back under control. Down the front stretch here, Ian Baker leading this group of race cars, but he's got a long ways to go to catch up. That gap right around 3 seconds to Bobby Hamilton Jr. Now this battle for third is on. Trevor Earhart to the outside of Huffstetler. The 94 car trying to claw back what he just lost. And here comes Loveland, the points leader in the 5th position. He's starting to put pressure on these guys as well. Earhart nearly brushes the wall. Loveland trying to get to the outside of Huffstetler. And I think he's there. But has to find some way around as the 94 really deep into the corner of the 56. Maybe going to try and cross him over here. down the front stretch. He will get to the inside, and here's the 76 of Ringer behind him. But the 94 with a little bit of a draft down the front stretch. But Loveland starting to climb back towards the front, and we saw how fast he was the opening sequences of this race. He's got a little ways to go. Thank you, JJM. As now Loveland to fourth. He clears Huffstutler. And the 56 sets his sights on Earhart. And the 88, who started to reel in your leader just a tiny bit. About a 1/10.5 faster last time by, but it won't be enough. He needs to pick up the pace by about a 1/10 or 2 more per lap to have any chances. He goes really, really fast out of turn number 3. Down the front straightaway. Basically matches lap times with the leader, and so that is not going to get him there. He's going to have to pick up the pace, or it's going to need a yellow flag. As Earhart in third. He goes a bit wide here in turn number 1. We've seen him make this mistake multiple times tonight. And the 56 now looks to the inside. This is for third. He's not going to get any help from behind, though. Huffstutler staying up high. I think he's going to try and make the move down low here and follow the 56 through. But Loveland not able to clear Earhart just yet. Down into turn number 3, the 56 of Loveland. Good run here. Can he clear the 97? It appears he can. Really washes up the racetrack. We've got cars wobbling all over the place. Earhart hangs on to 4th. And Huffstutler under pressure now. The 03 of Brad Allison. Where did he come from? Didn't he just get his lap back? Brad Allison in 7th position. Goes to the inside now of Brad Ringer. Ooh, 76 tries throwing the block there. That's not going to work. Because now everybody knows the tail. And Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's led 30 laps, coming to 31 laps led here. And it will be 10 laps to go this time by. So Bobby Hamilton Jr. absolutely dominant in this race after starting on the pole. Oh, we've got a car. CAEDMON Moore almost lost control. He's able to recollect himself and riding in 20th right now. Second to last car on the lead lap right now. Dennis Steele behind him, his last car on the lead lap. But no one really in danger of losing a lap just yet. Let's take a look here right inside the top 10. You've got Kevin Orlando Jr., Dylan Walterman, and Nick Alves all battling it out. And Dylan on older tires. Let's not forget he was leading this race when we went green after the first caution. And since then has not been able to keep pace. He did a pretty good job for a while staying up in the top 5, but has now fallen towards the back half of the top 10 and not able to close in on any of the cars in front. Bobby Hamilton Jr. though extending the lead now to nearly 3.5 seconds as James Loveland Loveland able to get around Ian Baker, so Ian had an issue that cost him the position. Behind him, Huffstutler starting to reel in the 88. That would be for the 3rd place position, the final position on the podium. Trevor Earhart not far behind. And you got Brad Allison and Brad Ringer, really the only ones left in contention up here for a top 5. Dylan Walterman, another 2.5 behind it. He is under pressure from Kevin Orlando Jr. and Nick Alves. And then a few other race cars. Tony Baird, Brett Sommers. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Brett. Good run for him. Nearly up in the top 10 right now. And one of his best runs that I can remember on the night of his sponsored race. So doing a good job for Boston Web Marketing. And just want to give you a reminder that tonight's race is brought to you by Boston Web Marketing. It's the Boston Web Marketing 175. I think I might have just jinxed Brett. I think he bounced it off the outside wall there. But I want to give a big shout out to those guys. Go check them out. Boston Web Marketing. You can just do a Google search. You should be able to find them on Facebook or their website. It's still under green right now, and out in front, Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's starting to see that gap close just a little bit as James Loveland half a second faster last time by, and if he keeps up with that kind of pace, he will catch the 25. And I thought that 25 car was going to be untouchable here, but maybe he just made a mistake. I'm not sure if he has any right side damage. We'll have to get a better look at him here out of turn number 3. The car looks clean, so no issues with wall contact. And James Loveland, if he gets a little bit closer, he'll start to sniff that draft, but it'll be 5 laps to go next time by, and just running out of time. Picks up another 3/10 on the leader that time, but that would not be enough. He would be just shy of the leader, but I think if he runs this kind of pace, he might be able to get there on the last lap and at least get to the bumper. And he continues to close here down the short chute into turn 2, the tunnel turn. He is driven away from Sean Huffstutler, so James Loveland. Oh, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. down the racetrack. What is going on? He's giving up the lead. Did he run out of gas or something? Brings it onto the pit lane. What is going on? Bobby Hamilton Jr. Perhaps a wheel issue. He's lost control of the race car. Yellow flag's gonna fly. And Bobby Hamilton Jr., the cause of it here, nearly stopping on the racetrack. What happened to the 25? Is there any indication of what happened right here? Trying to figure it out. Bobby Hamilton Jr., your leader. What is going on? It's like his wheel came undone, or pedals or something. He didn't run out of gas as far as I can tell. He's back up to speed now and back under control. But goes all the way to the back of the pack. He was leading. He was on his way to victory. What happened? James Loveland inherits the lead. Your points leader. I believe last week's winner. I think he's won the last 2. He's at least won a couple in the time that we've been broadcasting, and he'll bring it to the pit lane here. It's not going to be many laps remaining. Does anyone choose to stay out here? Dennis Steele, he's going to roll the dice. Is anyone else? Jake Williams, recipient of the Lucky Dog. He makes his way back around the racetrack. But Dennis Steele and Dylan Walterman misses his box. He's going to stay on the racetrack. And winning the battle off the pit road, James Loveland. Brett Somers takes 2 tires to gain some track position. Can Somers make anything happen here and earn himself a nice solid top 5 or top 10? Car with a little bit of damage, not too bad. Sean Huffstutler comes out right behind him in the 5th position. This is going to be pretty crazy I really would like to find out what happened to Bobby Hamilton. He led 35 laps here, was in the lead, cruising on his way to victory. He did have James Loveland closing, but I don't think it was going to be enough. It was going to be pretty close at the end. And Bobby Hamilton, some kind of a technical problem, I believe, going to cost him the race here. But Dennis Steele has not officially led a lap yet. Will he remain on the racetrack, or is he going to bring it in here? As the 52, that's David Buell going to bring it in, and Dylan Walterman will bring it down, leaving Dennis Steele on the racetrack. And I think we're going to get a green-white checkered here. It might be a naturally occurring green-white checkered. As here comes Loveland. Does he get alongside? Pace car lights are off. And so I think we're going to get the one to go here. We're going to do a quick commercial break. And we'll be right back with this exciting green flag finish.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Making our way through turn number 3. It's going to be 2 laps to go. Basically a green-white checkered, but not an official green-white checkered. We're still within the original lap count. Dennis Steele, your leader, he remained on the racetrack. Green flag back in the air. Dennis gets us going. And the 56 of James Loveland to his outside. Dennis trying to make something happen here. This could get messy, as also Brett Sommers on 2 tires right there behind him. Loveland goes to the outside, trying to get that pass completed. The 28 gets a little bit loose down low. Doing a good job, though, and now they're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch. Sommers to the middle. Here comes Ian Baker as well, but look at this Huffstutler all over the back bumper as it's a gaggle of cars headed into the tunnel turn. Sommers through the middle. He's going to go up the racetrack just a little, maybe contact with Brad Ringer, and they live to tell the tale. But here goes James Loveland and Sean Huffstutler through turn number 3, headed towards the white flag. Will the rest of the field survive? As we've got cars all over the racetrack, 3, 4 wide, and they will survive this time. White flag in the air. We're coming back around no matter what. James Loveland, your leader. He's looking for his 5th victory of the season. Here goes Huffstutler, going to peek down to the inside through turn 1. They're side by side, exiting the corner. The 56 a little loose. Huffstutler nice and strong down low. They're going to be dead even as they're wrecking behind. Ian Baker and many others caught up in this one, but the 56 of Loveland trying to hang on for victory. Here comes Huffstutler. He goes really low into the corner. He's going to get sideways and turned by Earhart. Trevor Earhart turns Huffstutler, and James Loveland surviving this crazy restart. He's going to hang on out of turn number 3. James Loveland will win the Boston Web Marketing 175 at Pocono. Congratulations, James Loveland. Win number 5 this season. as he hangs on after that crazy finish. Let's go take a look at the replay where this all happened. Let's see what happened out of turn number 1 originally. We're gonna go on. We're gonna look at Ian Baker here. Is this huge group of race cars, I think, just all ended up getting together. And they went in 3 wide. The 81 of Alves right there gets up into the 88. And Dennis Steele on those old tires. The 74 of Aiello. They all get squeezed together. The 02 of Walterman. The 81 of Alves. So many other cars. The 33. Oh, the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. caught up in this. He gets destroyed. The 51 as well. And man, what a crazy finish to this race as James Loveland making his way back around. He's going to start tearing it down here for another victory this season. Congratulations, James Loveland started on the front row and a wild finish. He survives after leading 16 laps, one of the fastest cars all race. And he takes home the victory here tonight. I'm going to see if we can pull these guys up pretty much straight away. Give me one moment. Just having some trouble pulling these guys up. It looks like I can't pull them in from the queue. Let's see if we can get these guys up here. No, it does not appear I can drag anybody in. Give me 1 second, folks. We will get this figured out. All right, still trying to figure this out. All right, give us a moment. Oh, there we go. James Loveland, this is Adam of the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I have a copy.
Well, James, you survived a crazy finish here tonight at Pocono. You were one of the fastest all night, and you worked your way back up into contention late in the going here. How did you recover from that early mistake of hitting the wall and climbing back up through the field?
Yeah, I really don't know. I hit the wall in the lead. I just overdrove the corner. It was my own mistake, and the car just lost horsepower. It wasn't I didn't burn the tires. I just lost horsepower, and I was falling back. And I'm like, well, I'll just have to use the fast repair on pit road. So I did that, and thankfully that caution came out. It kind of helped me get back up to the front, and yeah, it was a crazy race at the end. definitely a huge shout out to Sean and Trevor. They they were racing me hard and very clean, and I feel bad for Sean at the end there. I wish he could have been up there towards the end. Would have been a good finish.
Yeah, definitely it was exciting, and we saw Sean get turned there off the nose of the 97 late, but you guys were right there neck and neck, and throughout a lot of this race, there were comers and goers, and a lot of slipping and sliding. What did it take to really keep the tires on it and keep the speed for the long runs?
Yeah, I was definitely easier on the throttle throughout the run. I wasn't trying to push the effort, because if you just went full throttle going in out of the corner, you were probably going to spin out. So I think a lot of people were just trying to ease the throttle in going off exit on every corner just so they didn't spin out the car.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guys really struggling and make some great saves, and you kept it nice and smooth all race long. I believe this is win number 5 for you this season, so really, throwing down the gauntlet here, and that's basically half the races run so far this season. So looking like you could be on your way to a championship, but a couple more races stand in the way, and we head to the Daytona Road Course next week. What are your thoughts on headed out there?
Yeah, I'm excited. I love road course racing. I just gotta get a little more practice in and not drive it too hard. I know last race, Charlotte Roval, we did. I spun out a few times and managed to get a 4th place, but it cost me. So hopefully I can get rid of those mistakes and have a solid run.
Yeah, you're definitely a contender week in and week out. And congrats on another victory here. After starting in the 2nd spot, you lead 16 laps on your way to victory lane. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's race?
Yeah, definitely the front pack there, Trevor, Sean, Bobby, they really put on a good race with me and hard racing fun. Also, you guys, again, great broadcast. I'm probably going to watch it right after this race because that was a crazy race. And definitely Justin and Underdog Racing League. This is just a great league. I really enjoy it.
Awesome, James. Well, so good to hear from you after the race. Congrats on another victory, well earned tonight, and go celebrate. We'll catch you next week at the Daytona Road Course.
All right, see you there. Thank you.
All right, that was your race winner, James Loveland, the number 56 machine. We're going to go to 2nd place finisher now, Trevor Earhart. Trevor, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How's it going?
Good. And how are you doing? The 2nd place finish must be feeling pretty nice about that.
Yeah, happy to run 2nd there. I feel bad for Sean, definitely. I had the run coming out of the tunnel turn there. Was looking to go to his inside, and he got a little loose, and just one of those racing things, nowhere to go, and ruined his chance there at a potential winner, a top 3 for sure. But all in all, it was a very interesting race from my perspective, but a good end result.
Yeah, I think 2nd was probably the highest you ran all race long, and it happened to be right there on the last lap. But we saw you start off. You took over 2nd spot, I think, on lap 1, and then turn 1, car looked like it slipped out from underneath, and that was something you were fighting all race long. Did you learn, how to kind of keep that car more stable or keep the tires on it as the race progressed?
Yeah, my own kind of just aggressiveness there on the first lap, trying to do too much too early, and got it sideways there, and into that long run, car felt really good. Came back to me there, and we did good. But after that pit stop, again, just overdriving the car and got it all sorts of out of shape, and got the right rear heated up too much. But after that, just kind of stayed calm, easy on the throttle, and was able to stay up there with those guys.
Yes, sir. Definitely very quick throughout the race. You were up in the top 5 competing with all the fast guys here tonight and putting on a great show for us. And you come home 2nd place after starting in the 3rd position. You heard us just ask James. We're headed to the Daytona Road Course next week. So what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely looking forward to it. I like James. I love the road courses. One at the Roval when we were there a couple weeks ago, and I definitely look forward to going to Daytona. I know I'm gonna have to put up with James and Sean and Kevin all those guys week to week basis, I expect to see them up front, next week as well.
Yeah, we'll see if you can cap off or follow up a second place run tonight with a win next week and kind of sweeping the road courses. That should be cool to see how that plays out. But congrats on a second place finish here tonight after starting in third. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just big shout out to all the veterans out there. My grandfather was Korean War vet. A really good friend of mine, his dad was a Desert Storm vet. So shout out to those guys and all our troops out there. Shout out again to you guys for stepping in and broadcasting for us, and then just a huge shout out to everybody in the league that makes it what it is.
Awesome, Trevor. Well, congrats on a second place run here tonight. Definitely a lot of fun to watch you battle it out with these guys here tonight. But go celebrate, and we will catch you next week at Daytona.
All right, see you then.
All right, that was second place finisher Trevor Earhart, the number 97 machine. We're going to go to third place finisher now, Kevin Orlando Jr. in the number 27 car. Kevin, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I got you. How you doing, bud?
Not too bad. And you got yourself a nice podium finish here after starting in the 11th spot. Didn't see too much from you throughout most of the race. I believe you were in the top 10 pretty much the entirety of it and fighting it up with these guys. But give us a rundown of how things went from your perspective and what you could have done there maybe to even climb up there for a win.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a competitive car, but I just felt kind of stuck. We were always around a 10th place spot. And then I don't know what happened. One of the pit stop rounds, we just got a really bad restart and fell back to about 15th. Fought back up into the top 10. And, as the long runs went on, the car just kept getting better and better. And, I'd get so hard to pass here. So I'd get a few more positions as the run went on. And, I think I was running 5th coming out of turn 3. And it looked like the two Bradleys got together a little bit and just opened the door for me. So definitely a fun one. I love that track.
Yeah, definitely was an exciting race. Not too many cautions in tonight's event, and obviously perseverance. You said you fell back to around 15th and climbed all the way to 3rd here. Definitely a good solid second half of the race for you then, and 3rd place, can't complain about that. We have just a couple more races left this season. Next week, the Daytona road course. What are your thoughts on heading out there?
I'm always happy for road course races. It throws a nice mix into it, and we really get to try something different, put these cars to a little bit of a harder test with it. And, really kind of plays into the way I like to run, where it's just trying to be consistent every lap is how you kind of be successful at the road course. So you're not really racing the other drivers at that point, and that's really where I feel like I do pretty well.
Yes, sir, and definitely race the track, not the other drivers, and run your own race. We'll look forward to seeing if you can follow up the podium here tonight with another one. This should help you out in the points. It looks like you came in 6th, just a little bit behind Nick Alves. You look like you might be able to overtake him with the 3rd place run here tonight. So congrats on that. So great run here. 3rd place coming from 11th. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh, not to steal fire from the other ones who just spoke, but I mean, you can't race on Veterans Day without giving a shout out to the veterans and, past, present, and of course the future. There's plenty of cadets that are just signing up now and getting into it for all the right reasons. And, it's something I could have never done. And I give all the respect to them for, putting their life on the line for the country. And, of course, you can't also forget about the ones who've died, and just big shout out to them. And other than that, I guess it's the rest of the drivers out here. We can't race as hard as we do if we didn't know the skill level of everyone else we're racing with. So just big hats off to them for being good enough to race as hard as we do. And we had mostly a green flag race today, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, definitely an exciting run and a lot of skill being shown here with cars that were obviously very loose, only a few cautions, and they were all kind of just grouped together. So it's often how they go. But great race here tonight, Kevin, and congrats on the podium finish. We'll catch you next week at Daytona.
All right, thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir, we are too. And that is 3rd place finisher Kevin Orlando Jr. And once again, tonight's winner was James Loveland, that number 56 machine. And we're going to go through the rest of our results here tonight. Let's take a look at the full field rundown and the recap from tonight's race. 3 cautions, 13 lead changes, so definitely competitive up front and not too many yellows to break things up. We had a good green flag run for the first half of the race. And we got a pit cycle in, and then the first yellow flag flew with a single car spin on the backstretch. James Loveland takes home the victory after a very well-earned performance here tonight. Trevor Earhart comes home in second position, the number 97 car, and Kevin Orlando Jr. rounding out the podium in third place here tonight. Fourth place was Brad Ringer. Good race from him. He started in the top 5 and ran in the top 5 or around there the entire race. Brad Allison comes home in 5th position. Good race for him as well. Brett Sommers, a career best performance, I believe, here in the series. He comes home in the 6th position. Great job from Brett on a night where they sponsored the race. The Boston Web marketing car finishes 6th. Mike Aiello Jr. able to recover up to 7th after kind of getting mixed up on the strategies. Parker Johnston finishes 8th. Jeff Napier finishes 9th. And Ian Baker rounds out the top 10 in that number 88 machine. In 11th place, it was Marshall Wilson. 12th was Christopher Heights. 13th, Sean Huffstutler, who was right up there fighting for the lead at the end. Gets hooked off the nose of the 97 and finishes back in the 13th spot. Dennis Steele finishes 14th after restarting in the lead on that final restart, but old tires causing him to drop through the field. Nick Alves finishes 15th. Matt Janes finishes 16th. Tony Barrett 17th. Jake Williams 18th. Bobby Hamilton Jr. after leading basically half the race. I think he did lead exactly half the race. Finishes 19th and actually didn't even bring it to the finish line. Dylan Walterman finishes in 20th position here tonight, and you'll see the results a bit mixed up on the results on screen. David Buell showing as 21st. 22nd was Scott Kerberg. 23rd, Caedmon Moore. Rounding out the field tonight, an early exit for Justin Stunard after catching the inside wall at the midpoint of this race. And that is going to do it for tonight's broadcast. Once again, we do want to thank all the veterans out there. As Kevin said, past, present, and future, thank you so much for your service. And we couldn't do this without you protecting us and our freedoms. So thank all the veterans. Thank a veteran that you know and love, and let them know that you respect them and appreciate them. Such a hard role to play, and so thankful for all of them. So that is going to do it for the broadcast tonight. James Loveland takes home the victory. We'll be back here tomorrow night with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, returning with that series. So you won't want to miss that. And check us out on all of these different social media platforms, and check us out at our website, vspeedsim.com. You can follow us on all of these and stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. And let's see who we can jump in with. Close out the night. We'll jump in with Mr. Derek Justice and join him for his iRacing content. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the broadcast, and for all the follows, subscriptions. We appreciate that so much, and hope you join us again tomorrow night and also next week with these guys here in the Underdog Racing League.